the narrative of the red heifer could be viewed as an echo of Yeshua's crucifixion. Numbers 19 tells us that the Lord said to Moses that a red heifer was to be taken out of the camp and sacrificed to the Lord. This statement summarizes Numbers 19. The red heifer was to be with no blemishes. The Christian belief is that Yeshua had to be a perfect sacrifice. That means that he could not have any blemishes, like the red heifer. What does it mean for a human to be a perfect sacrifice without blemishes? It means a human who is without sin. Christian tradition says that Yeshua was without sin. Therefore, Yeshua was the perfect sacrifice for the forgiveness of sins. That is what the Gospels and Christian traditions tell us. Now the rubs here are that there are a lot of Gospel books that were written in the first 3 centuries of Christianity. The theological position of the Church determined which books became a part of the New Testament. That sounds crazy, but it is true. There is a legend that in 456 CE, the Chalcedon Church Council was called. The main purpose of the council was to determine the books of the New Testament. Different bishops had different books in their New Testament that they shared with their churches. The bishops could not agree on which Gospels should become the official Gospels of the New Testament. The solution was that each bishop was to place the books that they wanted in the New Testament on the table in the room. They left the room and locked the doors and windows. They gathered in the hallway and prayed to Yeshua. The next morning, the doors were unlocked. And there were 4 books on the table: Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. Thus, the Gospels as we know them today were born. There are so various books that were written about Yeshua and his disciples that the Church does not tell us about. It is a shame. One book is titled The Infancy Gospel of Thomas. This is a fascinating book because it offers narratives about the early years of Yeshua. This book was well known in the Church until 456 CE. Why? In the book there is a story about the young Yeshua who was at the kids' playground in Nazareth. A young boy accidentally bumped into Yeshua. Yeshua got furious and struck the kid dead. Yeshua never touched the boy. He pointed at him. The people of Nazareth were extremely angry that this happened. Committing murder is a sinful act. I believe you can see why the bishops of 456 CE did not want this book in the New Testament. The bishops who insisted on this book believed that until a child reaches 13 years old that the child is not responsible for his acts, therefore Yeshua did not sin. The book was rejected. If you ever heard the story of the young Yeshua making clay pigeons, then you know something about this infancy gospel. It is not possible for a human to be perfect, as Yeshua was perfect. The best we can do is to live every day trying to emulate the adult life of Yeshua.